You.
All right. Hey guys. Okay, so I am going to record this. I've had a few people who are growing really rapidly. This is why I dropped this in the elite and above chat. You guys are growing really rapidly, which is an amazing problem to have, right? It's really not even a problem, it's just a blessing. But one of the things that can come along with that is growing into a new size of shoes, right? Like we all start in shoes that are way too big. And when we grow into them, we finally get used to it and can run fast. But while those shoes are still too big, we're like tripping all over our feet. Okay. And that is how I feel about Telegram when you have a ton of chats with no organization. Okay. So, what I've heard from a few people is they're having a lot of momentum, meaning their new people are signing up new people, which means everybody still needs help and you have a lot of messages. So, a few things. Number one, Telegram has folders. Okay. So, before I even show you how I organize my folders, I'm going to show you how to make a folder. Okay. Basically, what this means, instead of having one big inbox, you have tabs so that you can organize what folder of messages each person is going to go into. Okay. So, the way that you make a folder is by opening up your Telegram app, going to the bottom where it says settings, clicking on chat folders, and then creating a folder at the bottom. Okay. It's going to ask you to put a name in. You are limited on characters. And then you can add in the people that you want into this chat. Okay. That is how you create a folder. Then you just click create and it'll pop up to be a main folder in your Telegram chat. So these are all my folders right here. And when you want to add somebody new to a pre-existing folder, you go to that same settings, chat folders, and then you can click on this and you can add chat and it'll take you to your inbox where you see everyone and you can select who you want to add into that chat, or you can type the name of the person's chat that you want to add directly to the folder and then you just click done. I know that's kind of backwards for you guys, but hopefully that's helpful. So that's how you make a folder. So what I learned is that there are certain people in my organization that need to have priority. Okay. This is what's going to be hard. As you grow and your team gets larger and larger and larger, you're going to come to the realization that you will not be able to help everyone. It's not possible. There's only one of you. And when you get to a size of even silver, bronze, especially platinum and above, it's going to be impossible for us to help everyone. This is where duplication of systems is super, super important. If you're teaching the systems can be passed down and down and down and down. And you shouldn't need to be in everybody's chat because you're duplicating the exact system over and over and over again so that as people are rising up as leaders, they're able to take that torch and train their teams and be in their team chats. But you are going to have a lot of messages. That's just part of this industry. So, what I have found that's helped me is organizing my Telegram inbox by priority. So, I have these chat folders. My very first chat folder is my personal ambassadors, and they're my first priority. So, I named that chat folder PAs first. Meaning, anybody that I personally enroll is going into this folder. Now, the reason it is my very first folder is because those are the people that I am directly responsible for placing in their legs, for helping teach and train them, and for their success. I'm responsible for a big portion of their success. So they are my very first priority. If you are a personally sponsored ambassador of mine, you go into that folder. Now, the second folder that I have is a fast start folder. I cannot swipe up on this. Is a fast start folder. You can see right here. This folder is for anybody who is within their executive time clock. Okay. Here's what I have learned. Your first 30 to 60 days in this business, right? 60 is the max you're going to have in that executive time clock. And that would be someone who signed up on the very first of the month, meaning they have the rest of that month and the following month during their executive time clock. Those first 30 to 60 days is when you're laying the foundation of training. Meaning, if you can hold their hand and properly teach them the systems in those first 30 to 60 days, they're not going to need you the same way that they would if you weren't training them in those first 30 to 60 days, right? That is your time period to practice duplication, meaning that you are literally teaching them all of the systems, giving them verbiage word for word on how to talk to people. I make those people my second priority. Number one, because I want everybody to hit executive in their fast start executive time clock time period. That was a mouthful. In their first 30 days, I want people hitting executive, meaning I'm going to give them a ton of attention during their executive time clock phase because I want them to promote. And I also want to train them well in their first 30 to 60 days so that they can duplicate the same systems. So my second chat folder is the fast start folder. I'm always updating this monthly. At the end of the month, I'm taking people out who are no longer in their fast start executive time period, and I'm adding new people in. Anytime somebody signs up as a new ambassador on my team at any level, I'm putting them into this fast start folder. Okay, meaning their upline is going to be in this folder as well, but so am I. That way, if we have someone who's new and they're also enrolling people who are new, I'm able to make sure that I'm in there and everybody's getting properly trained. Training is everything. Duplication is everything. So that fast start folder, I highly recommend. And then at the end of the month, when people have ended their fast start executive time clock frame of time, I don't know how to say that better. You know what I mean? Then they get the boot and they go out of the chat. Okay. My next folder I just implemented recently because what I was realizing is I had a lot of people who were ending their fast start period, but they were working really hard and showing up. If you haven't heard the 2 foot in the boat definition, you should watch that training video, but I'm going to give you a quick little rewind it for a second and explain just so that you understand what I'm saying. So 2 feet in the boat people means they are all in. They don't have 1 foot on shore and 1 foot in the boat and are like back and forth deciding whether or not they're actually in this business. They have 2 feet in the boat. They're showing up every day. They're sending daily messages. They're on the team trainings. They're on the team calls. They're on opportunity calls. They're going to events. They're doing all the things. Those are your 2 feet in the boat people. Okay. I made a 2 feet in the boat chat and I just used emojis, 2 foot boat. Okay. And I have started putting people into this chat, meaning these are my people that are not my personally sponsored and they're not in their executive time clock phase, but they're showing up daily and working hard. I want those people to be a priority in my business because I want to show them that their efforts are not unseen and that I'm there to hustle with the people who are here to hustle. Okay, so that's my next folder. After that, I have a folder for team chats. Team chats. This would be any team chat I'm a part of, like our Q Mafia team chat, our Q Mafia Boost chat. I'm in a couple of Katie Williams Freedom Company chats. I'm trying to think, our 1500 Club chat is in there. Any type of group chat, I put it into the team chat folder. After that, for me, I divide into legs. Okay, so I have a leg 2, a leg 1, leg 2, and leg 3 chat, meaning anybody who's in my leg 2, they have their chats in here. Anybody who's in my leg 3, they have all their chats in here. Does that make sense? I organize it by leg because there are certain times of the month or of the year where you're going to need to focus more specifically on one leg, right? If you have a baby third leg and you're really trying to grow that leg, a smart business person is going to focus a little heavy on that leg having priority, right? Because that's where you need to see the growth in your business that month. So on months where I know that there's one leg that I need to grow more than the other 2 legs, I'm going to start in that leg chat. Now, it doesn't mean I'm ignoring the other chat folders. It just means it's keeping me organized of where to start with priority. I'm still answering all of my messages. I use these folders to work in priority so that I know where I need to be instead of having a sea of messages and starting from the bottom and working my way up to the top. That's not efficient. It is on the lower ranks, but once you even hit bronze, it's not doable anymore because there's too many messages. You have to have organization if you want to be effective. So I organize by legs. Now, when someone new signs up, depending on where I place them, that's the legs chat folder that they're going to go in. The next folder I have is events. Okay, oops. I hate this. Sometimes it doesn't do it. Anyways, the next chat folder I have is events. In my events folder, I have a local events chat, meaning like it's a local group of people that I've put together for us to do local events together. I also right now have a bronze and above retreat chat folder. This would also be good to have like our May 22nd regionals. We have a chat for that on Facebook, but if it was on Telegram, that would also go into this. When we get closer to Dallas Convention, I'm sure there will be a Dallas Convention chat that will go into events. And then lastly, this automatically populates. Oops, what's happening here? It automatically populates an unread folder. Okay. Now, the reason that this is helpful for me is because sometimes I'm getting put, maybe it doesn't automatically populate. I think you might have to do this in your settings, possibly. The reason I think this is important is oftentimes I'm getting put into new chats and I have to assign what folder they're going into. So when I go through my priority, right, and I start over here, I respond to all of my personally enrolled, then I respond to my fast starts, then I respond to my 2 feet in the boat, then I respond to my team chats, my legs chats, check events. And if there's messages left over that aren't in one of those folders, they're going to show up under the unread area, which means I haven't assigned them to a folder yet. So I can go in there and I can say, oh, I haven't assigned Marissa's chat to a folder. This must be a new chat. And then I can assign them to a folder. This is how I do it. Now, I know that's a lot of folders. I didn't start with this many folders, but I feel like having systems keeps me really organized, and having specifics lets me know where I need to go. I hope that this was helpful. I know, Marissa, you're like the only one on here. Did you have questions? Okay, cool. So I highly recommend doing this. One of the things that you're going to learn the higher you get is it's not possible to get to everyone, and it's definitely not possible to get to everyone fast. This is where you're going to see a divide of 2 types of people on your team. There's going to be the type of people who takes initiative, right? Marissa is the only one on this call right now because it was so last minute. I know if Marissa sends me a message, she really needs help. It means she's gone to all of the other areas to find the answer to her question. And I'm like her last resort because she takes initiative, because she knows if she sends me a message, she might have to wait an hour or 2 hours to get a response from me because I have thousands of messages sometimes in my inbox. So you're going to see that person. You're going to see the person who takes the initiative. And by the time you get to their chat, they've used their resources to get the answer to that question. Okay. You're also going to see the type of person who's going to wait 6 hours for you to answer their question. They're going to wait 2 days for you to get back to them to help them out with what they need. They're not going to take initiative. So this is also a really helpful system for you to see who is stepping up in leadership on your team. And this is all just within your inbox. It's a really fabulous tool. So if you're not using the folders in your Telegram app, I highly recommend using them. It has been a game changer for me staying sane. It's also really great if you're time blocking. We have a lot of people who work full time on our team, meaning that they're not on their phone all day long. They're only able to check it maybe an hour here, an hour there, a little before bedtime. And so if you have a whole day and then you're coming into your inbox at night, it can be absolute chaos of knowing where to start, what messages are the most important, what messages can wait, right? The folders are going to help you with priority of knowing where to start, who needs you the fastest, who needs you the most, who's the newest, and then you work your way down in priority. Everybody's eventually going to get an answer from you, but you know where you need to start. That's why I love these folders. I hope that this was helpful. If you have any questions, feel free to DM me, Mandy Michelle on Facebook, at Raising Crazies with the K on Instagram. Bye, guys.